I just recorded a 27-minute video. So the real question is, how do I talk about this now? Help me get better at this. What do I agree about? I agree that pollution is a problem. Why is pollution a problem? What is the human element to pollution? Why is that a problem? Because it shows a lack of restraint. It shows a lack of restraint. And that lack of restraint is why I agree with that point. Okay? But where I don't agree, I respect you. But that doesn't make your assertions factual any more than I can't just leap to fact. A scientist's hypothesis that they start their equations and all this experimentation to do, if the data does not back up that hypothesis through their experiments, then guess what? It doesn't matter what their hypothesis was. It was wrong. If you don't understand how math works, it doesn't change what an equal sign is. Science, again, is very cold, but it's not nearly as cold as the programmer who directs a pro-life video to a pro-choice individual so that they can say, hey, you may want to see this. Why? So that you can thumbs down this vid. That's a programming choice that may be repeatedly influenced by, programming that is now, that's autonomous. It's all autonomous. It's autonomous now. It can still constantly be rejected, put in a box. I don't like to put things in boxes, except when I'm doing a math problem. Because the essence of science is the fact that science never actually makes a consensus about anything. Even when they have data to support their hypothesis, that doesn't make it proved. A proof is not like, there's consensus. We all agree. There isn't a single scientist that would agree. Certainly not 97% scientists. See, that there is a manipulation just in the wording of that is incorrect. To say that we are in another mass extinction, number one, who said so? You? Who said so? Your science teacher? How long does a mass extinction take? Have we increased that? Who's we? How many people is we? How many countries are included in we? How many countries did you have to get agreement from in order to say we? When you use the word nature, what governs nature? Because when you say, the extinction, aside from humans, like the 4.3, 4.4 billion years of nature that had nothing to do with human beings, the volcanic activity, the meteor impacts, the continental drift, the cooling, the ice ages, all of those 4.4 billion years that had nothing to do with human beings, and yet here I am, right here, right now, recording this on this planet Earth. Who was there to record the data enough to say, hey, look at that rate. You see how slow that rate is? Well, look at this. Because not enough people drove Priuses. What's the plural of Prius? Priuses. Now we have increased the rate over the last 150 years. And every year it's gone up. Where? Everywhere? What governs that? When you use words like nature, what is nature? You use nature like a god. I hate to say that word, but you do. You use nature like a god. Like it has governing factors involved, okay? And how much of nature are we talking about? Just planet Earth is nature? Universal nature? Because there's forces that are extraterrestrial, meaning outside of the Earth, not extraterrestrial like some other being. But that's very interesting. CO2 and methane are naturally occurring. Volcanic activity ruptured the early Earth. Was there a choice then? Who made that choice? When the dinosaurs went extinct, whose choice was that? Where is the evidence that scientifically, fully, unequivocally implicates human beings? Are you going to tell me this 97% consensus story? Because they don't make consensus that human beings are the sole cause of anything. I can look into every stream and I can see all the plastic bottles that I don't think any of the animals should eat. So I agree with you there. I completely agree. But that problem is a lack of restraint. And that problem is also what leads women to think that an unborn child is their property. That's a lack of restraint. But my question is, why is it her property and not her mother's property or her grandmother's property? If my grandmother passes away, when does something that belonged to my grandmother stop being my mom's and start being mine? And when the ingredients that make this condition, like the health insurance companies like to call pregnancy, this condition, the ingredients do not only come from a woman. So why is it only the woman? There were some statements made like it's like we don't care what you think about it. You don't have to like it, but it's not your choice. If it's my ingredients. And my ingredients created something that even from a DNA level is not me. It's not my property, but it's not only some woman's. That does not diminish the woman. It simply reminds me, because I'm thinking directly to me, that reminds me that all life that comes from this nature that you're talking about, the nature's governing factor is the one who put that there, who put all of the means to create that there in me, in the woman, and in that unborn life. It's still life. And I do want to clean up every place that I can. Because of people's lack of restraint. Like when people cut me off, when people want to kill the people that I take care of because they're no longer valuable. They want to kill off the unborn person because, hey, this kid's going to have a difficult life. Might not be worth it. Whose choice is that again? Is it the same one that killed the dinosaurs? Is it only your mother's choice? Is it only her property to make that choice? Sounds like an unchoice. Sounds like a coercion by somebody who's also saying, look, we're going to get everybody to play ball except for a couple of particular countries who don't want to play ball. But the rest of us will, because we'll show them. Doesn't sound like it's going to work. Why? Because it's all or nothing in that regard. That's what I heard. Not decades, years. Not decades, years. So we need all or nothing. Because I'm not throwing all of the money I've got left into it's not going to work because we've got a mass, gross, disgusting polluter not playing ball with us. But you know what? Our 50% of the earth, hey, it's not a sphere. We can just put some, again, it's when this stuff really changes that we get into the unscience of this. Please comment. Please. And get this video. Through the manipulated programming of the so-called artificial intelligence, get this in front of every person who tries to say that it has it's a womb thing. What was that? The comment about the womb? Get this to that person, because I want to ask them whose choice it was to kill the dinosaurs. And I also want to ask them why it's less a husband's choice. Why does it have nothing to do with the other ingredient that is essential to the equation? It cannot be manufactured anywhere on this earth without coming from a man. Get this video there so that I can see somebody with a cartoon picture that will not actually answer my questions. Thank you.